Hello everyone, welcome to Solidity tutorial, and today I'll be talking about the differences between memory and storage keywords used in Solidity programming language. So let's get started. These keywords are basically used when you declare a state variable or a local variable within a function. They're also used to define, the return type of the variable, whether the return type should be memory. So most of the time you'll be using memory when you're trying to return a variable, but let's take some examples and try to clear our doubts. So let's start with memory keyword. So memory keyword is used in Solidity to make a variable store in a temporary space. So this space is erased, which means this space does not persist data between function calls. So as soon as the function executes and the function returns a value, or when the function ends, the memory will be wiped off. So hence it's a temporary storage for Solidity. The variables which come under this memory level are called local variables and the function parameters. So the function parameters are implicitly termed as memory, which means the data which you pass into a function will not persist after the function ends. And one more important thing to note is that when you're using memory keyword to store values, you pay less gas when you're storing the data using the memory keyword. So that is one of the main advantage of using memory keyword. Now let's talk a little bit about storage memory class, and then we'll try to compare both. So storage is more like a database, an Ethereum database, which is stored in the blockchain. So this data which is stored within storage, the data which is stored using the storage keyword persists through the entire life cycle of the contract, which means that you can access whenever you want. Once you change the value will be stored in the blockchain forever. The variables which come under this storage level are called the state variables, which means the variables which you declare at the contract level. For instance, if you take this hello world contract, for example, I've declared an assigned integer of 256-bit a and b, and I have an array of elements 5. So these three are stored in the storage level, which means the values which is assigned to this or modified during the transaction sent to this contract will persist throughout the life cycle, and it will be stored in the blockchain forever. And one more difference is that compared to memory keyword is, storage, when you're trying to use storage keyword to store a variable or trying to update its value, it consumes a lot more gas compared to memory variables. And this is one of the key differences between a memory keyword and a storage keyword when you're trying to declare variables. So please keep this in mind when you're trying to declare variables in your smart contract using Solidity. So that is the main difference between storage keyword and memory keyword. Now let's look at a real contract example where we can actually understand how the memory keyword and the storage keyword works. I've declared a simple contract called hello world, within which I've declared two variables. So these two variables will be stored in storage class, and I've declared another array, and even this array will be stored in storage class. Okay, and I have a function called add storage, which takes in two parameters, and these parameters are assigned to this state variables, the contract variables, and returns the sum of those two contract variables. And I have another function called add memory, which takes in the same two parameters, and what I'm doing is I'm assigning it to a local variable. And as you can see, when I'm assigning a variable in a function which is a local variable, and that function is implicitly known as a memory variable, this e would be a memory variable and this f would be a memory variable, and I'm returning the sum of those two local variables. So I'll try to run this function individually so that you can see the difference. So I'm going to save this file, which compiles my contract automatically, and I'm going to this third button on your left panel, which is deploy and run transaction. And here I'm going to select any one of the accounts, and I'm going to click on deploy. So the contract is deployed. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select another account which has 100 ether, just so that we can compare the gas difference when we're running these two functions. So I have selected a new account which has 100 ether, and I'm going to expand this contract. Here I have add storage and add memory. Yes, add storage is here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pass 10 and 20, and I'm going to add this. Okay, the transaction is successful. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select another account. For this I'm going to use add memory. For add memory I'm going to pass 10 as first parameter and 20 as second parameter. Same parameters for both add memory and add storage, and I'm going to call this, and I'm going to get 30 back. So let's see the gas difference, right? So as you can see, the first one, which we called using the storage variables, has caused us a little bit of gas, but the second one has not caused any gas. From this little example, we can conclude that the storage variable costs more gas compared to a variable which is declared using memory. Since we assign these two parameters to the storage variable, which is our contract or the state variable, and we try to return the sum, while storing these values into the state variables, it has caused us some charge, that is the gas which we are paying right now. So we have paid around, I don't know, some 33,000 way, I guess. So that much of gas we have spent. And the second account which we use to add and return the memory variables, they have not caused us any gas. Now let's understand a bit complex and a bit more exciting example. So as I mentioned before, I had declared an array of size 5 which has 1 2 3 4 5 as its elements, and the bottom I had declared two functions which is called set array storage and set array memory. So what I'm doing in set array storage is that I'm accepting two parameters, which is index and a number, and I'm declaring a local variable called temp, and I'm assigning the state variable array, which I've declared at the top on line 8, to this temp variable, and I'm updating the number at the index. Similar to this, in the set array memory, I'm taking index and number as input, and here I'm doing the same, but instead of declaring the temp variable as storage, I'm declaring it as memory, and I'm assigning the state variable to this temp variable. And I'm doing the same thing after that. I'm updating the number at this index which is passed to the function. Now in the last function, which is get array, I'm just returning the state variable. Okay, now I'm going to save this file, and it's been compiled successfully. And I'm going to select the first account, and I'm going to delete the previously deployed contract because we have made some changes to the code, and I'm going to deploy the contract again, and it's deployed. Now I'm going to select a new Ethereum address. I'm going to select the last but second address, and I'm going to expand this contract at the bottom, and here I'm going to select this set array storage, and let's say I want to update the value at index 0 to 99, which means I'm trying to update this value 1 to 99. And let me transact. Yes, it is successful. Now let me see what are the values of the state variable array. For that I'm going to press get array, so I'm going to get 99 2 3 4 5. Now let's take a moment and understand what just happened. So when I declare a local variable as storage, it is not going to create a new array. It's going to take the reference of your state variable, and it's going to update the index of that state variable. So that's why when we try to return the state variable, we see the updated value at the 0 index. Now if we run the same lines of code, now let's pause here and try to understand what just happened. So When I declare a variable as storage, what happens is that this temp variable is exactly same as the array, which means the reference of the array is passed to temp, and when I update the temp, the original state variable, that is the variable which is stored in the Ethereum blockchain, gets updated, the persistent one. So that's why when we try to return the state variable, we get the updated value. We get the 99 as the first value in the array, since we updated it to 99 using set array storage function. Now let's try to do the same to the set array memory function. So I'm going to select a different account. I'm going to select the last account, and I'm going to select this set array memory function, and here I'm going to update the value at 0, I mean the index 0 to, let's say, 76. Okay, I'm going to call this. Okay, the function has been run, and let me try to get the array. As you can see, the value is not updated. The reason for this is, in set array memory function, I'm declaring the temp variable as memory, which means I'm telling the Solidity to create a separate memory space to store the values of the state variable array. Since temp is stored at different memory space and array is stored at different memory space, when I update the temp, when I update the index at temp to num, the original state variable, that is the ARR variable, will not get updated. That is why when I try to return the state variable, we still have the previously set value, that is 99. And we can do this multiple times if you want, and you'll find the same result. And also you can see, when you try to store the when you try to use a temp variable, and also you can see that when you try to use the storage keyword, we spent some gas. For the same operation using the memory keyword, we didn't lose any ether. So that is the main difference. So when you're trying to store any value within a storage level variable, it costs you more gas compared to a memory. Since in this case we are not seeing any change in ether when we try to transact in functions which has memory keyword, because we are not doing any operations and it is just a call operation. So in Ethereum smart contract, there are two kinds of transactions, which is send transactions and call transactions. So send transactions, which are transactions which actually make state changes, and those cost more gas compared to call transactions. So call transactions does not change the state of your contract. So just remember that there are two kinds of transactions. One is send transaction and one is call transaction. Send transaction costs you more gas, and call transaction costs you less gas compared to your send transactions. So that is it for today, guys. So these are the major differences between memory and storage keywords in Solidity. If you guys have any doubt, drop it down in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.